All right, welcome back, everybody, to your Friday Risen Draft Summer League. We are here with the quarterfinals of the playoffs. I am your host, Willie, and I am joined by my two casters, Zazikil this week, and of course, Zyduk, as always. So, for this week, we've got a nice best of three. You are reading the screen correctly if you've noticed the title. That's a bunch of emojis on the screen. So instead of trying to list all the emojis, we will be affectionately referring to them as Team Whale.
Mhm.
That's that fourth emoji in there.
Yeah.
And oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, just I like to say very creative name, but very difficult to pronounce the whole thing. So really
Yeah,
glad we're just sticking to Team Whale for now.
Team Whale. And of course, we've got the returning No R from last week. Now, speaking of last week, we saw them have a nice comeback. It was 1-0. We were thinking they were maybe down and out for the count, but they surprised us with some really nice objective play, some pretty big carrying coming out from both of their solo laners. What I want to see this week in particular is I want to see their mid laner pick something that they can really hard carry on because I saw last week when they were picking hard carry champs with a lot of burst damage on them, he was really making some plays happen. So that's what I want to see this week. Now, as for the other team, Team Whale, we actually have not seen them on a streamed game during this entire league. So this will be their sort of debut on the stream, if you will. They were one of the top seeds, so they had a bye last week. So this will be their first matchup of the playoffs. This will also be their first matchup against No R. They were not matched up against No R during the regular season. So, going to be very, very interesting to see how these two teams clash. Now, of course, No R, we did see them last stream, and maybe Team Whale has taken some time to review that VOD, maybe not. Can't blame them if they don't want to. I mean, they're pretty long VODs.
Yeah.
Um, but as for Team Whale, we haven't seen them, but they do seem to have a couple of preferred picks.
Mhm.
Not many ranked games this split yet, but their jungler has a lot of two champions in their match history, which are Belveth and Lilia. Zyduk actually brought that up to me before the stream, so thank you for that, Zyduk. And the other champion that's being picked a lot is the Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa's still a really strong champion. Even after all of those Shiv nerfs, she's still finding she's found a nice spot in the meta with the sort of hybrid build, the
Mhm.
Nashor's Tooth, I know some people go for the Muramana, some people go for the Ludens, a couple different builds, but in any case, there's three easy bans for Noir right there if they want to go out and take them, or they'll have something else they want to do in the draft. So go ahead, Zydek. I think you have something to say.
Yeah, I was looking at just like the lobby here. I'm not sure the Emerald player is actually going to be jungling. I believe he's going to be in the mid lane this game, so maybe there isn't the same need for the Lily of the Belveth fan like there would have been if he was jungling. Yeah, I do think he's the mid laner. We will wait and see as we get into draft. But yeah, there's still obvious directions to go. Both the top laners I'm seeing, we did see a good performance from Sonic the Rock last week in that top lane. They both like their carries. One of them prefers Aatrox heavily, especially after how he's been performing in the last few patches, and one of them seems to be leaning more towards a Camille sort of angle, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken about the matchup, people do quite like it as we are getting straight into the draft here.
Yeah,
It's well on the blue side, so.
Yeah, I also think just one of the most difficult things, coming into this playoff series is patch
Mhm.
day just 2 days ago. So we
Yeah.
definitely will want to see like how these
that's
teams have
true.
adapted to the
Mhm.
new patch and see what their adjustments have been over, what was the meta last week. So that'll definitely be interesting to see.
A Darius Banaway is interesting because we did see Sonic the Rock perform heavily on that champion last week, so
hmm
maybe they have Cinderbolt.
I mean, it's always a
Yeah.
good idea, right? Just
Mhm.
free scouting. So might as well
Yeah.
just take out some of those champions that we have seen, Sonic the
Mhm.
Rock have success on already. And as we
Yeah.
also see Melio and Garen taken out,
Mhm.
so throwing a couple bands up towards that top side Meanwhile, we have Aurelion Sol, Zaya, and we're waiting on that last ban from No R,
Mhm.
and then we will get straight into picks.
Yeah, Aurelion Sol also, just calling back to last week as Noah was this team we saw. Aurelion Sol was a champion that did manage to tear them apart in the first game, and when we were interviewing them, they said how scary it can be with the amount of safety and the wave clear that it provides. And Aatrox is left open, and it's been first pick there
Okay,
on the side of Team Whale.
I am still under the impression that Aatrox is still one of the most broken top laners. Yes, he was nerfed, but it was just so overtuned last patch that it still puts him in a very, very good spot in the meta. So I think, Team Whale picking up the Aatrox early is a very, very good pick. So meanwhile, we have Maokai picked up here for No R, as well as Miss Fortune on the other side.
Yeah, it is this Miss Fortune again. This Miss Fortune Maokai was something they really did try to play around. It was these mid-game skirmishes around these dragons and these objectives they really liked. They really love to play these Miss Fortune comps with these layering ultimates. Big team fights there, and I don't know. I think sometimes if Aatrox isn't completely unbalanced, he can be scary in this sort of organized play because he does have some very hard counters there. So they can play the Irelia or the Yone people were taking out when he was really, really strong just last year. So
a bit of an odd selection here. They opt in for the support and jungle, it looks like. So
yeah. And this Amumu is a little bit of a takeaway, right, from this Amumu MF lane, which has been so popular. And Braum as well, she can do very well into the MF, right? Oh, there's the Irelia picked up there as the lane counter into Aatrox. But Irelia might be a bit difficult. This
it could also be flexed to the
Braum Amumu. It could be, yeah.
It could be flexed to the mid lane as well, because we already know that Maokai does a decent amount of AP damage. Also faced some nerfs in this last patch, right? So we'll have to see how Noir adapts to the slower clear speed on the Maokai. But also, I am shocked that Kai'Sa has not been picked up yet. I still think Kai'Sa is in a very good spot in the meta, and we did mention that Team Whale does like utilizing that pick. So already having an 80 carry picked for no R and no Kai'Sa on the other side is a bit curious.
I mean, maybe there's an angle to let Kai'Sa through here as Noah, then pick it up in the mid lane. But yeah, I'm not sure if that's quite what you want. I'm not sure how comfortable the mid laner of Noah is going to be banned away there.
It is going to be banned away. So as we enter into the final parts of the draft, we have Ashe and Kai'Sa banned away by no R. Meanwhile, Seraphine and Syndra on the other side for Team Whale. So how does this play into the last few picks of the draft here? Like, what are you expecting here?
I mean, they need to find a support that pairs up well with this MF, right? Their support has been playing towards some of the engaged champions in their solo queue, but it was the Seraphine they like to pick up. Morgana has somewhat of a similar playstyle, but it's definitely more of this anti-engage, trying to keep this MF and this Irelia up when Amumu and Borom both try to dive onto them. So Morgana, not the worst pickup there, has a lot of a lockdown, can put that Rylai's first as well to try to keep people in that same area. Do what they wanted to do with this MF, but I think it was a smart Seraphine ban because they've been scouting this VOD and it's what Noir liked to play with this Miss Fortune. Maybe Noir thought they could get away with it, they wouldn't be scouted out and it slipped through. And there's the Zeri picked up there.
Yeah, the pentakill champion coming through. I think paired up with the Braum in that bot lane. I don't know if Morgana was the best pick into a Braum because obviously Miss Fortune struggles into that pick already, and if we could see the support from Team Whale really utilize those E's effectively, I just feel like this negates a lot of the damage that can come through from no R. But Victor, high damage mid laner coming through as the final pickup for Team Whale.
Yeah, they definitely have some big scaling picks in the Zeri the Victor there. They have a really massive team fight on the side of Team Whale, and also they have the ability to try and disengage from what Noir tried to do with the Orianna picked up there. We have two really big team fight comps here, right?
Yeah, so the Irelia is in fact going to be in that top lane, facing off into the Aatrox. Orianna versus Victor, two immobile mages, would definitely want to see some ganks thrown towards there, especially with high engaged junglers that we got. But that top lane matchup is going to be the most curious. Like, how are you expecting this matchup early on to go between Mentally Broken and Sonic the Rock?
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one, right? I think Sonic the Rock is he has the like he has the like rank advantage there. Or yeah, with the difference there. But Mentally Broken, he's saying that I have the lane counter here. I'm comfortable on my skills in this champion. So if there's a bit of jungle attention, if Maokai comes up towards this top lane like we would expect him to with the with such the volatile matchup, maybe this Irelia can get this lead, get this advantage, and then be scrappy in these team fights, be that surprise factor that changes it around. With that Morgana to keep him alive. So yeah, I think it is going to come down to like a lot of jungle attention. If they are isolated in this 1v1, however, I think the Aatrox will probably be able to get onto those 1-2 item spikes, just farm up pretty safely, and then he can start to take over the game. So it's just interesting to see if it is and when it is impacted. How they,
I mean, if you're
decide
willing to
take over here.
if you're willing to pick up that Aatrox first, right, you have to assume Mentally Broken is very, very confident on this pick. If you're willing to, pick it first on that blue side, so definitely hoping that there's going to be a lot of action around this top lane. We're going to see if Mentally Broken is going that more Duskblade oriented like damage build. That we have seen a lot in solo queue, or if he's going for more of a standard frontline kind of bruisery sort of Aatrox. So definitely going to be interesting. This bot lane, just early on, I really feel like this is more favored towards Team Whale, just because of that Braum pick. That is such a really good negation into that misfortune. So like, if you are on the side of Noir, how do you circumnavigate that issue?
Yeah, I mean, you need to. I do think it is all just like still about this top lane, right? You need to get the lead, get the advantage onto the top lane, so you can make it so that the Zeri, the Braum can't really do too much to stop the snowballing that comes from the Irelia. But yeah, they just need to play safe and they need to find their angle, right? That's all what it's about. If they can play slower, make sure to get that Braum shield out, and then come with their engage. But yeah, this Braum is a very, very difficult champ to play around for the misfortune. She needs to find the perfect ult timing, so the ults can start. So yeah, it'll be curious to see where they go with it.
And then finally, mid lane matchup. I just want to touch on that real quick, especially since we have tank matchups in the jungle. I'm just expecting some early 3 camp clears from both of them and try to impact the map as quickly as possible. So in this mid lane matchup, we have the Orianna into the Viktor. Orianna is the counter pick. What do you think that Orianna brings to the table that is supposed to help Noir, as they save this pick for very last? So how does this impact into that Viktor matchup?
Yeah, it was really as Willie was saying, right? We've seen some great performances from the mid laner of Noah on some of these carry champions, including the Orianna, finding those big shockwaves. So I think it's more just saying, yeah, I'm happy to trade this lane. I think I'm better than you. I can carry better than you with the support around me. So yeah, it's just I think it's more of like one of these nullifying picks. And I would like to see these junglers try to come to this mid lane as well, impact it, because as we all know, these early kills on that Viktor, getting those 25 stacks towards that E really, really changes the matchup, how it plays with the wave clear that Viktor can get, and that really changes the whole map and the whole game. So yeah, I think this Orianna is just a safe pick. It's a comfortable pick. I like it in the situation, but maybe it is like you can say it's overloading a bit too much on the AP with the Maokai Orianna. I definitely expect to see probably Merc treads coming out from both the mid laners there. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Absolutely. And then one last thing I will ask before we head to a break. So as we've mentioned, as Willie mentioned earlier on, we have seen Noir on this stream before. We have not seen Team Whale, but based on these drafts and based on what we know about Team Noir, what are your predictions for game one? Taking the draft into consideration, taking the team that we know into consideration. What are your predictions for the outcome of game one?
I mean, they got almost everything they want. They do love all these champions, and I think with the scouting, there probably was a tad bit more they could have done to advantage themselves in this draft on the side of Team Whale. But I think they could be the surprise factor. We haven't seen them before. We don't know how they would play around a team like Noah trying to look for these big scrappy team fights. If they're more organized than them and they're more ready around these objectives, they can do what the team last time couldn't do and manage to shut them down, manage to find those games and turn those team fights which could quite be turned against Noah. So yeah, I think they got what they wanted, but it would be curious to see how the game plays out.
All right. So are you expecting a Team Whale victory then here in Game 1, or are you kind of leaning more towards the what we've seen before in the reliable Noir?
I mean, if we're looking precisely on draft, I like what Team Well have put together. But I think I've seen Noir's ability to execute this composition, so I would like to say that I expect them to take it if they perform to the standard they were last time. So yeah, I'd probably put it more in Noir.
All right, then I will take the other side and just to go against you and
Yeah,
take
no
the
problem.
take Team Whale, and we will see which team comes out in front in Game 1 and puts themselves in a very advantageous situation in this series. We are going to go to a quick break, but don't go anywhere because we'll be back with Game 1 of the quarterfinals between Team Whale and Team Noir. Stick around. Welcome everyone back to Game 1 of the quarterfinals of the Draft League for Ryzen Esports. Zydok, are you excited here for Game 1?
Yes, of course, I'm excited. Can't wait to cast another game of League of Legends with a Maokai in the jungle. It feels like every game now, to be honest.
Hey, maybe we'll see the nerfs come through in this matchup. We'll have to see how Akessa pilots this Maokai early on, and we will see how it has impacted like their clear speed and how Maokai is able to impact the map early on. So as a jungler myself, I actually am not the biggest fan of Maokai. I would actually prefer to be a Boo-Boo in this case, but I know Maokai is a much better pick just with the engage that he provides, with more reliable engage. But as a enjoyment standpoint, I think Amumu is just more of an enjoyable jungler. But we will see how each of these junglers are able to pilot the champions early on, as we will not see any major level 1 shenanigans. Just Noah getting a ward onto the Raptors. We will be able to spot out the Amumu pretty early on, but both these junglers pathing up towards that very, very influential top lane.
Yeah, that is what we wanted to see, right? Both the junglers pathing up, and it's going to be the Red Smite First Strike Maokai gonna go toward that Demonic and Berry to get a bit of that poke going on, which is what I like to see. Amumu is going for the two clamp bot side, gonna go for that 3 camps and try impact the map early. I can't speak today, I'm sorry.
No worries.
He's gonna try impact it as soon as possible, it looks.
Yeah, bit of an oddity. I think he's just opting in for a bit of a faster clear by just skipping the Krugs. He's not actually going for that early level 3, as we see him on his wolves right now. He's not going to be able to pick up level 3 off those 3 camps. So I think just opting for a little bit of a faster clear, where he kind of skips over the Krugs, able to counter gank should the Maokai be ganking top early on. But meanwhile, quite a bit of trading going on, especially we saw in that mid lane between Tark and Rams, already down each to about half health. Tark has used up both their potions already. Rams still holding on to both of his, so definitely a lot of heavy trading early on, especially for considering how weak these two mages are, in the first few levels.
Yeah, it's both of them going for that summon area, just trying to poke and prod each other down. It is this Tark has gone for this cheap lost chapter with the futures market, which we've been seeing on these mid lane mages. So expect that early with a cheater recall TPing back.
But he also might get frozen on here, as he wasn't able to push in the wave all the way. So that could actually be very detrimental for Tark in the mid lane here.
Yeah, it's gonna base. Will have enough for the lost chapter, I think. No, just gonna stay one more wave. As it's a smart ward there from Sonic the Rock. Placed it just away from the Herald pit, so gonna be completely safe. There's a level lead there.
Keza jumping on the Amumu early on, has forced a flash out already, but Sonic the Rock was not really in a good spot to help out his jungler. So Ystariel does have to burn that flash early, but is able to walk away.
Yeah, and that's going to have a massive impact on the mid lane here, probably, as the Lost Chapter is picked up there for Tark. It's going to mean the Amumu has a lot less of a surprise factor for the next 4-ish minutes. As that flash is down, isn't going to have the ability to get on this Orianna, if even from the vision there, like he would with that flash up. So yeah, that's going to be quite impactful, getting that flash forced out. And it's unfortunate that the wave was coming back into Sonic the Rock, and he couldn't get that that level up to level 4. Because I think if he did, there might have been an angle to just flash on, try kill the Amumu with that level 5 advantage there, but unfortunately not the case. So.
Yep. But in a 1v1, forcing out your enemy laner's flash is no small feat. So definitely have to give credit where credit's due. For Akeza was there for the potential counter gank, and turns out he was able to turn the tide against Ystariel. Will also be able to pick up the Scuttle Crab on the other side. So overall, both the junglers even in farm, but still a little bit of a goal. Oh! What the hickety heck? Tark in the mid lane just picks up the solo kill. Rams maybe greeting a bit too much for the wave, and Tark is just able to just poke him out and take him out for first blood.
Yeah, and the Amumu bandage shot is just missing, and that is huge. That's a 400 gold injection there for Tark. Is going to get him massively ahead in this matchup. Being able to base on a 700 gold, they're going to pick up whatever he wants to, really. And yeah, it's just huge, and there's a massive level lead here in the top lane as well.
Yeah, mentally broken, struggling on this Aatrox early on. Is just the slow pushes have been pretty brutal. He will be able to pick up quite a lot of CS here. I was thinking maybe they would, if Sonic the Rock was very confident, he would try to go for that level 6 dive, but mentally broken, not taking any too heavy trades, so we'll be able to pick up the majority of this wave and try to even up those levels in gold here.
It's that elusive triple Q combo the Irelia mains talk about, but no, it's not going to happen. Just going to get the safe recall, get some components starting to work up towards this Blade of the Ruined King, so you can start to one-shot that backline with your Q. And
Mhm.
yeah, and we can just see now how much of an impact this gold has had in the mid lane. This Orianna is just managing to get this poke down, not really being too much threat from this Victor, and just get these waves shoved in and in and in. As Amumu might be looking for a little mid gank here. Gonna walk into the brush. He's not on vision, so
Yeah, this might be an angle. No flash on Eustario, so maybe
Mhm.
they could look for something here. But the level 6 on Tark means
Yeah,
if he
it's gonna walk
really
away.
wanted to get away, he could. But and it looks like he's just gonna be able to walk out for free. Sonic the Rock, meanwhile, in the top lane, does try to get that chunk onto Mentally Broken, but the Infernal Chains will keep Aatrox alive for a little bit
Yeah.
longer.
But this is just like showing how tough this matchup can be for the Aatrox. It's
Mhm.
just on the Aatrox you need to play into these mobile melee champions that allow you to really hit your Q, start to get these lifesteal procs. But Irelia can just dash through the wave, and there's not really much interacting with her as Aatrox, which is the main problem in the matchup.
Yeah, Aatrox generally a fairly good blind pick, but you're absolutely
Mhm.
right. If someone's able to use that mobility to their advantage and avoid, the sweet spots on those Qs,
Mhm.
it can be very, very difficult for him to really win out in these trades early on. And we know Sonic the
Yep.
Rock is one of the best players on the side of Noir. So,
Oh my
meanwhile,
god, is it again?
he's not satisfied with just the one solo kill. He's trying to go for another one. Rams forced to flash away. Will he get it? Yes, he will. He doesn't even have to use flash himself. Rams solo kill for the second time in this matchup.
Yeah, it's just disrespecting this Orianna with the Summoner. Maybe used to more of a phase rush Orianna, not doing as much poke damage. He's just getting lower and lower and lower, and he's just dying really. Disrespecting the shockwave damage and just getting solo killed twice is very, very scary there. Tark with the lead and the massive lead in the top lane for Sonic the Rock as well. It's everything's just going the way of Noir here.
Yeah, already 1,200-ish gold in the lead
Mhm.
at this stage of the game. That is not where you want to be if you're on the side of Team Whale. Is already Sonic the Rock is frozen on Mentally Broken yet again. 30 CS up. He's going to be able to deny so much more gold with this freeze here in the top lane.
Come on, this is draft, man. Why are we freezing? Go, dive on him. There you go.
Here we go. Sonic the Rock. He wants some more. Pops that ult, but a World
Brilliant,
Ender
man.
comes through from Mentally Broken. Will it be enough to save him? No mana on Sonic the Rock, but he just has auto attacks galore. The flash follow through will get another solo kill here for the side of Noir. But yeah, oh, here comes the juggler. Amumu, will he be able to? He pops the flash and the ultimate. Eustario, will he be able to get it? The last band, his toss goes wide. So he invests both his flash and his ult, but is not able to get the return kill.
Yeah, and it's just Asterial is just like a little too late to make the impact here. In all three solo kills, he was somewhat around, knew there probably was danger in the top lane, but it's just both junglers have been kind of unimpactful. It's just the laning has just been far better from the side of Noir here.
It's solo kills. Rams, he has no flash. He pops the ultimate, trying to zone Tark away. But there comes the ultimate from the Orianna. Will Akessa be able to take out Rams on their own? The smite coming through. Rams has nowhere to go. Just sound the trumpets. Down goes the mid laner.
0-3 now on this Victor. Still nowhere really near that the upgrade is. It's going to be around 30 CS away from being able to impact and contest this wave clear that Orianna is coming in with now.
Oh boy,
Has a big XP lead, and it's just gonna Maokai's just gonna be able to go pick up this herald for free. It is gonna be traded for the dragon, which can't be contested. The bot lane of the side of Noir had to take a recall there, so bot lane's gonna be on for free. And now this game, if they want to make an impact, really has to be the Zeri show.
Absolutely. I also think just early on, just that Rift Herald is so much more impactful than one early dragon if you can use the Rift Herald effectively. Obviously, you put a lot of pressure on that jungle. He's not able to get a good Rift Herald drop. Then yes, the permanent stats that the dragons provide is much more impactful. But in a general sense, you definitely want to pick up that Rift Herald over the dragon, especially when it's the first dragon and you're picking them up at the same time. So definitely, again, just a winning trade overall going over to the side of Noir, and already over 2,000 gold in the lead there. And this is primarily from their solo laners just outplaying their opponents at this stage.
Yeah, and yeah, it does have to be the Zeri show, right? We did talk about in draft how how this Braum can kind of stop what their composition is trying to do. And we've seen Zeri do it before in the past, many a time. She goes in, she has her Zeri moment, she pentakills, and that's really what needs to happen this game. They need to find their team fight angle around these objectives, which is going to be very difficult with this with your top lane and mid lane are both not really existing in a sense, right? It's gonna the Amumu's gonna have to find a massive engage. Zeri's gonna have to dodge all the abilities, which are almost guaranteed with the Maokai ult coming through on top of that shockwave. So if this game can be played perfectly, it's not all over, but it's looking more and more difficult as their solo laners keep dying and keep getting keep dropping CS, right?
Yeah, but we have Istariel down here in the bot lane. He would have shown up there, but it doesn't even matter. Admiral Levy does get hit by that bandage toss, has to force the flash away, and yeah, you like that, will pick up the kill onto Proxy. The ADC survives, but now with flash and cleanse down, they're looking for a little bit more, but Admiral Levy will just walk away. So a good play here for the side of Team Wales. They're finally able to pick up a kill onto their bot lane.
Yeah, you like that on the Zeri did pick up the kill there, did get the gold. Continuing to push that little advantage they have with some more plates going over to them as well. It's about an 800 gold lead now. Going to be maybe just a tad bit more. But yeah, they're going to be able to base on you like that, pick up their first item there. That's the call completed as well in this exchange. As Sonic the Rock is just, where's the Herald Crash going on? Sorry.
Yeah. You know, oh boy, we see the Amumu bot lane. That means top is prime for the taking. Akessa tank it down very low. Mentally broken, might be able to make something happen. He will get the return kill onto Sonic the Rock, but Akessa is able to make that escape. Already 50 CS down on the matchup and now losing out on a huge wave. Mentally broken is just absolutely getting smashed in this top lane.
Wait, did Sonic the Rock not have a bounty? Wow. Okay.
Apparently not. Apparently 127 CS at 13 minutes is no big deal.
I didn't really see how much gold went over to Mentally Broken there, but yeah, I thought that was going to be a lot better. The Victor is going to manage to come up to the top lane, pick up this wave, so it's not going to be all too bad. But yeah, it's still the 1-for-1, more gold on the Aurelia's pocket with this Blade of the Ruined King, and the boots picked up. Now it's more and more difficult for this Aatrox in this lane. Right. Now you're just looking. Is Zeri just a tad bit overextended too?
There's no cooldowns up. You know, fun wall hacks for the Zeri, so we'll be able to make that escape. But
yeah.
Overall, very good work here. I may have caster cursed it here. Zariel does flash forward to try and land that bandage toss, but will be dodged by Tark. So both the jungler from Team Whale and the mid laner will use their flashes, but Mentally Broken now already chunked down to half. The Infernal Chains will keep him alive, and Sonic the Rock is just forced to walk away, but he might get collapsed on here. Istariel did just use that flash. The bandage toss comes out, but the flash from Sonic the Rock will keep him alive. Yeah,
it's just looking for maybe a bit too much there from Sonic Rock, making him force out his flash, but it's not going to be all too bad in the grand scheme of things. Aatrox is still going to have to sit on this turret. Amumu is probably going to have to be hovering as flash.
Okay, Proxy flashes forward, tries to get the pick onto Killian, who will be able to use the flash of himself, and now Proxy finds themselves in a really bad situation. Here comes the bullet, time to trade one back. So far it's the support for 80 carry traded. Akessa now dropping dangerously low, may have to sacrifice himself, as well as the TP coming in from Rams will get him not just one, but 2 kills in the bot lane.
Yeah, that's huge. That was a fight changer, really. That TP coming in, just smart awareness as he saw Proxy flashing in, TP'd right into that bot lane. He's like, "Ooh, that looks like some gold for me," helping him get back in this game. Still not going to be that lead fully closed up, but is definitely working towards it. Only 700 gold behind now compared to what it was.
I was about to mention the gold lead as well. Both the mid laners opting in for that tank poke in the Liandry.
Yeah.
So looking, both these teams kind of looking to front to back here, try to take out both the tank heavy engaged tank junglers on each side before working on the rest of that team. So both opting in for those tank killing items, but the dragon here looks like it's going to be started up by Team Noah. Still about 1,000 1.5k gold in the league, I'd say. gold in the lead. Apologies. Will be able to pick up that dragon. So stopping and no early dragon stacking from either team. As 16 minutes, each team only has one. We might see a fight break out around this Rift Herald as we see both squads transitioning over to it. Zeri has already taken out that turret down the bot lane, so we might have a 5v5 on this Rift Herald here.
Yeah, maybe. I think it's gonna be a great chance for Team World to show what they're gonna try to do in this game. There's just some trading happening in the top lane.
Some trading happening in the top lane.
With
The Prio here. Oh, already we see the shockwave coming out early. The dash hit from Yustario, but he just gets blown the heck up. He does able to secure that eye. Oh, no, apologies. It looks like it was picked up by Akessa. And yeah, you like that. Does pick up a kill on Sonic the Rock. That is huge, taking out the Aurelia, but the rest of the team just goes down. Mentally broken, forced to run away, is being chased by Admiral Levy, but it's a 2-for-4 in favor of Noir, and they were able to pick up the Herald to add on to that lead there.
Yeah, the Victor is going to manage to pick up the Orianna bounty, but it was only 150 gold, and now this MF has completely closed the lead, managed to pick up almost every kill in that engagement. It's going to be able to base very soon for the Collector, I believe, 1.7 in the pocket there. And on this 2-item spike, this MF is going to be huge in these team fights. It's going to be
absolutely. We have to see how they play around,
Killing
this
dragon,
Rift Herald and the next dragon spawning. Absolutely. This is such a bad position here for the side of Team Whale. Like, if you were on that squad here, what's the plan? How do you find a way to get back into this game?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be really difficult, but they need to stick to their game plan, right? Anything can happen in the team fight, so they need to scale, they need to hit their waves, they need to get on this Navori spike before that Zeri. She's not too far away now, coming up to this 20-minute mark. To that Navori. On that 2-item spike, she can be huge in these fights. And as a hook is hit...
Yustario was able to land the bandage toss onto Tark, but does force the flash away from that Orianna and the shockwave as well. It does chunk out the Zeri quite a lot, but overall doesn't look like they're able to get a kill yet. But now Yustario finds himself in a bad situation, forced to flash, bandage tosses onto Admiral Levy. The Maokai dashes in and will be able to pick up the kill onto the Amumu. Admiral Levy drops dangerously low, is forced to run away, and now here comes the support, trying to 1v3, finds himself in a really bad situation. I'm not sure what the plan was there. Proxy will be blown up by the victors. Rams is able to pick up their 4th kill. So they were able to get that first pick onto Istariel, but then a bit of an odd choice here by Proxy to try and I don't know what the plan was there.
See, I would like to thank Team Well because they gave us a precise showing of what not to do before these dragon spawn. They don't need to be looking for the engage right now. They have the better scaling options in the bot lane. Their mid lane is going to scale up, although going towards this Banshee's Veil might be a slightly weird choice. Felt like with the with the damage coming through from both Maokai and Orianna, it's going to be a safe and wise pickup. But they don't need to force anything right now. It just doesn't need to happen. They need to be scaling. They need to get these items on Zeri. Navori is now picked up before these items. Amumu needs to be playing to make sure that laners, their carries, can get this CS, and they can they can build back these advantages that they have lost.
Yeah, but 5k gold lead right now. Just again, it's going to be very, very difficult for Team Whale to really do anything. This dragon spawning in a minute, we could see already they are down in that bot lane setting up vision, but they have no vision on the top side. They have 4 members up here. I don't think they even know that this is happening. Okay, they are going to pop that Scribe's Bloom, but Maokai is in the bot lane. This might just be a free Baron.
They missed the smite. Oh, thank God.
Okay. If there's no jungler, you can't miss the smite. Yustario waits for it to be below 1200 health in order to secure that smite, but here we go. It's the collapse from the rest of Noir. Looks like they will just be able to walk away. So, all right, picking up well played to Team Whale, picking up that free neutral objective and getting themselves a Baron buff up for this next team fight. That might be able to turn the tide here.
Yeah, that was a really good call there from Team Well. They saw Maokai was on the bot side and they were instantly like, guys, we have the Zeri. I think we can just. I think we have the ability to just burst this down, and they could. Morgana got the idea that there might be something going on that top side toward that Baron, but obviously it's too late with no jungler there as they're starting to fight this dragon.
Yep, alright, Ocean Soul, or sorry, no, Ocean Dragon, I should say, not Soul yet, picked up here for the side of Noir, but they want the fight. Admiral Levy, time, baby, picks up the triple kill, and he's hunting for more. Admiral Levy drops dangerously low, picks up the quadra kill. Will he be able to pick it up?
Oh.
No, he will not. Rams denies the pentakill, but it may cost him his life. It's the quadra kill for Admiral Levy and the ace for Noir.
Yeah, that's they managed to pick up 2 kills, but a lot more gold onto that MF there. Dragon secured as well. And we got a perfect example of what their comp is trying to do, right? And what they were doing around these objectives last week. Normally they didn't have a gold lead this big, but it's still they managed to find that angle. The Irelia dove in, got on top of everybody. The shockwave was pressed at the right time, and then the MF and the Maokai came out at the right time. Everything just well executed, clean team fight there. And yeah, just
all right. Kilmian is looking for the flash forward onto Tark, but I mean, you have no damage there. It's just you and a Boo Boo, so a bit of a weird decision there from the support. As I do not think in any world you get that pick.
Yeah, I think they're just thinking maybe if he can stall until Zeri gets up, we can find the kill onto Orianna. But yeah, I don't think that's ever worth Brom's flash. But hey ho, I guess there's still 3 minutes 30 seconds to any major objectives. It's still going to be down, but hopefully that's not too impactful for them.
Yeah. Next objective spawning is that dragon, so I'm expecting a bit of a slower play over here for the next 3 minutes. Is no Baron up, no real towers that you could take on either side as the waves are pushed in. So yeah, definitely going to be a bit of a slower gameplay here. So now you're on the side of Team Whale. You are obviously quite behind in this matchup, down about 6k, or 6k at this point. We talked about, the game plan has to be revolved around the Zeri. How do you enable, you like that on this pick, to really be the carry here for their team? Like, how do you navigate this issue that they're facing right now?
Well, the problem is that this Zeri can't actually do anything. It's not like if they didn't have the opportunity to stop fighting this game, they would they almost, maybe there's a bit kicking off no blast kind of ways. Everyone's gonna be safe. If they didn't have the opportunity to start hitting in this game, it wouldn't be fine and it wouldn't go well for them. They just need to find their way to get this Amumu onto this MF to cancel everything, and for Zeri to do what they needed to, what MF did to them in the past with these massive AoE team fights, with this Shiv the Bori, with the ultimate as well. So yeah, I think they need to be the ones trying their best to engage these fights, and it's obviously not always impossible. It's not always possible with like as we saw in the last fight, Sonic the Rock with a snap engage, snap Q on top of the enemy. Great R pressed from Tark there.
All right, here we go. Akeza is now looking for mentally broken. The Aatrox does pop the ult. Will he be able to trade one back onto Tark? As Aatrox just does so much damage. What nerfs are you talking about? We'll be able to get out for now. Bullet time coming through, but there we go. The Braum stopping the majority of that damage. We see the 2 kills now going over to the side of Noir, but yeah, you like that on the Zeri, able to pick up some kills back for themselves at Rams. Okay, there was a lot of damage there really, really fast, but it looks like it was a 4 for 3 in favor of Team Whale.
Yeah, Zeri just managed to start hitting, as we were saying, right? This MF ult didn't manage to find Zeri. Zeri wasn't locked down in this combo. Managed to escape from this MF ult. Then she really started to cook, right? She really started to ramp up. As we said she could as well. I think it's a really smart more of my Mortius pick up to stop a lot of the front upping burst damage coming out from the shockwave as well. And it got procced, and she managed to stay alive to do all this damage and shred through them all. So yeah, I think if they have more fights like that, then they're really in for success. But I still feel like it's Noah's to throw, right? Like I feel like they somewhat did there. I think the we were overextending on an Aatrox for little reason, and with how this champion can be even from such a disadvantage, he played well to sustain, to be that
Oh no, Tark, what are you doing? Your team's nowhere near. The shield does come through, might keep him alive a little bit longer, but not for much. And it's a double kill going over to the side of Team Whale. And you said it's Team Noir's to throw. I think they just threw.
Yeah, definitely Tark is stepping up without his team, without vision, without bullet time on MF. MF is just going to walk up, catch this top wave. It is going to be the inhibitor taker, I believe, as a Team Wells are going to walk up towards this Baron. It's going to be the jungler, top laner, and AD carry all walking over. They're seeing if they can contest it.
Yeah, we're gonna see if Kilmian can get another really good shield here as the Barret is started up. We're looking for some bullet time coming up from Admiral Levy, but Kilmian is in position to stop it. 4K left on the Barret, the TP coming through. And there it is. It is picked up here for the side of Team Whale. And Sonic the Rock finds himself in the middle of 5. And I don't care who the heck you're playing. Into 5 on the enemy team. You are not coming out of that alive. And that is Barret. And a free pick now going over to the side of Team Whale. And all of a sudden, this 6K gold lead has shrunk to 2.
Yeah, and it's been these mistakes coming out, these mispositions from Noir, which Team One have done a really good job of capitalizing on, right? They've been finding the engage, the Brom's been marking this around these carries well, stopping them from getting in the fight. And now this Victor is so big, right? He's been dishing out all this damage along with the Zeri, all this AoE damage, and the Aatrox is always back as well with the Morph Mortius when that procs, giving him so much Omnivamp. Allowing him to just shred through these, to just sustain through these fights, sorry. And, yeah, they've just been playing really well around the mistakes of Noir. And they're going to manage to get this Baron, start to push out this mid tower, and now that's destroyed. The game really, really opens up again. They can get this deep vision. They can start contesting these Drakes in a manner they want to without the mistake having to come through, without these picks having to come through. And
yeah,
they
we'll
also
be very
managed to not get their inhibitor taken. I was gonna say as the outcome.
All right, here we go. Akessa with the engage, and Sonic the Rock dashes forward on the Aurelia. Bullet time comes out yet again. Kilmian does pick up the kill onto Proxy, but it's traded back. Support for support, but Rams goes down as Aurelia's popping up. We see a blade dance worth remembering. Sonic the Rock dashes forward, but now he goes down. Akessa forces the Zeri to dash away, and Akessa does back up. He walks away. Oh my goodness. Oh man, yeah, you look, that is not able to pick up that kill onto the Maokai, but now all of us, it seems as though Noir, after having control the majority of this game, find themselves weirdly on the back foot here.
Yeah, it feels like if we did that at any other point in the game, it would have been perfectly fine for them. They would have on the side of Noir, they would have been able to just find the early pick, burst through the Zeri, burst through the Amumu. Now they're just like, they're a bit tankier, they're a bit healthier, they have just that bit more damage to really turn this team fight around. They just failed to lock down this area again. Noir really have to be finding this engage. They have to play their comp perfectly to find this pick onto Zeri and to win this team fight, because that's what it comes down to really. If they can kill the Zeri, they can win the fight. There's apart from the Victor here, there's no one really doing too much damage, and the Victor is kind of immobile. He's kind of killable once this Zeri is dead, right?
Dragging up in 90 seconds, and I think you're right. If we can, but somehow, Noir can find this pick onto the Zeri, I feel like, yeah, you're right. Victor, who will also be in the back line, will just get, targeted as well, easily blown up, and I don't think the Aatrox is in a place where they can really, turn the tide of the fight after that. So, really focusing, these squishy carries for the side of. For the side of Team Whale is going to be very, very important for Noir.
But now we mentioned with the mid shove coming from the side of Team Whale here, with this turret being taken, with the advantage they've managed to accrue. Well, not quite advantage, they're still at 8 gold deficit, but with the tempo advantage coming out There's just a bit of trading here. So
All right, mentally broken. You get picked early on. Might not be very good. Does get the flash out, and Sonic the Rock opting not to pursue any further TPs on both these top laners, but mentally broken will be forced to back the dragon spawning in less than 30 seconds. Yssariel dashes in, gets the multi-man stun, but the bullet time, and all of a sudden, now you like that going down. This is what we talk about. The Zeri is dead. Mentally broken out, trying to go onto Akaza, and now the TP coming in from Sonic the Rock as well. Akaza trying to peel towards there, will be able to get the kill onto the Braum, and here comes Aurelia. This is a 200 years champion. Will he be able to carry the fight from here? Mentally broken, already chucked down to half. Rams is chasing Admiral Levy. Admiral Levy, will he be able to escape? No, the laser will bury him, but Sonic the Rock has the attack speed, has the damage. Rams now will be looking for this peg, but the stun coming through, and Sonic the Rock is changing the fight. Will he be able to get caught by the gravity well? No, he will not, and it's Aurelia starting the fight for Noir.
Yeah, it's the engage was found on the side of Team Well, but it wasn't found onto this MF. It's really who can kill the carry first, right? And in this case, the Zeri was managed to be killed first, right? And then, as we said, this Victor is a MOBO. The Aatrox has a hard time into Aurelia as it is, and with how behind he is in nature, it was difficult for them to kill this. Aurelia is so tanky, has so much damage with that Starex with the Blade of Direct Triforce there also picked up. She was able to just completely turn that fight. And so yeah, it was well done. Good bullet time coming up from Admiral Levy, but we do really need to see it be more decisive if they want to have a chance of winning this game. We need to see someone come through with a big fight and really find the kill onto the carry. There's no cleanse now on this Misfortune. She's a lot less safe here. But still, both of them have a lot of damage. She still has the flash up in just a second. Not quite sure the exact time that will be back up, but I believe by the next engage. So as they're now shaping around Baron in 5 seconds here.
All right, the big purple worm has made his entrance. What is the play here? We see both these teams positioning around this Baron.
Yeah.
Is there even going to be a fight, or are both teams just going to, just kind of do the Baron dance here for a while? No lanes are really pushed in on either team, so not really seeing any pressure built up in other parts of the map. So I think we're just going to see a Baron dance here for the next few minutes, as both teams are just kind of, no, you go first. No, you go first. No, you go first.
No, I don't think either of these teams really want to give this up, but also you're really in danger if you're starting it when that armor strike starts to come through from the Baron. You are a lot weaker in the fight, so Oriana's just going to be catching the top wave.
Yeah,
and
finally we see the side of Noir. They are the ones that are actually, finally pushing out these waves. It's forcing Team Whale to respond as Aatrox now moves down towards that mid lane to try and catch that wave. Meanwhile, more and more poke coming out. Level 18 on Rams. This Victor now does a hefty chunk of damage.
We've been
if this poke goes on much longer, it will be very, very detrimental. And finally, here we go. The flash forward from Sonic the Rock, and Zeri finds themselves in a place they do not want to be, and they are put in the grave. Tark now, a 3-man Shockwave, mentally broken, finds himself dangerously low, and in a spot yet again. Oh my goodness, they just keep getting split in these fights. Rams now chasing Admiral Levy, will likely be able to get this kill back. The cleanse coming through will save himself from the gravity well, but the burn ticking down. Admiral Levy is just running away. Rams is much slower because of that strut. Will Admiral Levy actually be able to make this escape as the Baron now goes over to the side of Noir? Admiral Levy walks away, and it's a 2+ Baron going over to Noir, back in the driver's seat.
Yeah, and this was the dominant fight we wanted to see from one of these teams. It was great ult there from Sonic the Rock, flashing forward onto the Aatrox and the Zeri there. Aatrox was almost a mode of transport for the Aurelia to get on top of the Zeri there. Really well played from Sonic the Rock. He was...
Alright, but now Sonic the Rock, why did you say anything nice about them as they find themselves in a position where they do not want to be shut down, put in the grave? Rams picking up the kill.
Yeah, that 950 gold is going to go well towards the last item Rams is going to want to pick up here, which I would imagine would be a Void Staff, as MR starts to come through. A lot of the members of of Noah. Hitboystuff already picked up on the Orianna, of course. But yeah,
Yeah, I still find it a bit odd that they opted in for the Banshee's Veil into you know, a poke heavy team like the MF, like the Orianna, but I think you're right, just playing more towards that Void Staff, you know, trying to, you know, punch through some of this MR that is starting to build on the Maokai, on the Aurelia, will be the play here for Rams, who suddenly has become, after dropping the, you know, that early lead to Tark, has become the most fed member on the side of Team Wales. So,
yeah.
oh boy, I feel like the end of the game is nigh. 36 minutes, the flash forward, Yastariel, Admiral Levy does get hit, but now the Black Shield coming through protects him from the Amumu ultimate. The turret is destroyed, the TP is now coming in from Mentally Broken, but already Yastariel is down. Akessa will soon join him, jungler for jungler so far, but now the health bars on the other side of No R are much better, and we can see that it will cost them the game. Rams goes down. It is a quadra kill for Admiral Levy, but that is his second quadra of the game. Yet again, denied that penta, but it is No R picking up the 5 members of the enemy team and will likely march down and end this game.
Yeah, there's 20 seconds on the Amumu, then 30 seconds on the rest of the team that they're just going to be able to walk through with all this lethality that's on the Misfortune. They're just going to shred through these structures. As Aurelia is going for the Drake, maybe it's just a bit of insurance. Has TP up, but maybe they're not going for the ends. I feel like they could have, but Aurelia maybe still can TP.
Yeah, not opting for the end for whatever reason. I think maybe just as a precaution. Yeah, we could see them starting. We could see the side of Team Whale starting to spawn. So maybe just opting for a bit of a safer play. They pick up the Dragon Soul. They're 6k gold in the lead. Their Baron will be expiring in 5 seconds, so that's not an advantage anymore.
I still feel like this can be really scary that they're not trying to go for the enter, because as is mentioned time and time again, when you get to this 45-minute stage of the game, we can see all the carries are full build now, right? The gold lead doesn't really matter too much at this point. Both carries are still going to be able to one-shot your entire team. All the tanks are going to be incredibly tanky. So, yeah, I think going for the end is really risking them flipping another fight around this next objective, or whether they decide to flip this fight. It's going to lead them more opportunity to get caught, like they have done. Like they have been doing throughout this game. So I think not going for the end there is quite risky, but they managed to pick up the soul. They do have this big advantage back, so we'll see how it goes.
Oh, we see the flank here. Kilmian is trying to go on to Admiral Levy. The TP coming through. Admiral Levy does force the flash out, and Cleanse keeps himself safe. Yastariel on the back line, trying to get some damage off. The bullet time spells disaster yet again. And it is, once again, the pentakill is denied. Sonic the Rock will pick up that last kill. Mentally Broken, the only one standing, but he will not defend the onslaught that is No R. Proxy stopping the back as well, just to add a little insult to injury. They will march into the base, and No R will be picking up the first win of the quarterfinals.
Yeah, GG's in chat there. It's going to be 1-0 to Noir after what was quite a back and forth game, which we didn't expect from like the first 10-15 minutes. Yeah, it's well played in those team fights at the end. I was saying it was a bit risky, but they did manage to find the angle, find the turn there. And yeah, Willie, what opinions do you have in the game?
Yeah, very exciting game, and yeah, exactly like you mentioned, it did go on for a lot longer than I think most of us were thinking it was gonna go, just based on that early game. I've got a few things, but both teams honestly played pretty well throughout the. Both teams also though were making a few mistakes throughout.
Yep.
Like I noticed, a few of these team fights, it seemed like the supports were missing. They were they just showed up late. I just wanted to point that out. I was kind of confused, like where are these guys at?
I think Proxy, tried to go in and 1v3 the enemy team. I was like,
yeah,
okay.
I'm gonna be honest. Those Morgana ults were very iffy. He had a very good Black Shield near the end of the game, though. I don't know if you guys noticed, but he kept his Misfortune alive through that Amumu ult. in Noir's
Just in their
base. I
base,
think,
yeah.
Mhm.
without that shield, they could very well have lost the game there. So that
Mhm.
very nice play there. But other thing I want to talk about is drafting a little bit. If you remember, Team Whale, when they were going for their second and third picks, they picked up Braum and Amumu. And I think the consensus that we sort of had there was they were probably just trying to avoid letting the Misfortune pair up with either one of those champs. I'm going to say that I think that was probably a bit of a misstep there. I would have rathered they have the Braum. The Braum is plenty well enough to deal with the Misfortune with the bullet time. We saw it time and time again during that game. He was really sort of cutting the circulation and not letting that Misfortune do as much as she would have without the Braum. And instead of the Amumu, I would have liked to see the Kai'Sa picked up there. I think Kai'Sa is sort of the ADC of the meta lately. Even with all the Shiv nerfs, her hybrid build, her AP build with Ludens is strong. The Muramana and I mean, it's just a good pick right now. So I think letting that get banned in the second round of bans was a bit of a mistake there. I think the game could have been quite a bit of a different affair there if they had that. And that would have also left them with some different options for the jungler. It seemed like while he was getting some impactful Amumu ults in the later stages of the game, we saw some nice flash ults to sort of engage a couple of fights. We could see he was really struggling a little bit in the earlier parts of the game. A few bandage tosses being missed, the early flash. I think if we get him on a bit of a different champion, maybe something he's more comfortable with, maybe I don't know, something like a Hecarim or a fighter jungler, I think we could see the early game go very, very differently there.
Yeah, I think Amumu also isn't perfectly placed in the meta, right? I feel like it was also a bit of they were getting out tempoed a bit. The Maokai was just clearing quicker, clearing healthy, and we did see that come to fruition very early in the game.
He
When
had a
Maokai
very
was level
nice
4 in the
counter gank,
top side, and it just stopped that from happening. Because Maokai has the ability to clear quicker, clear healthier, get that early level quicker. So yeah, I think maybe Amumu, as you're saying, not the best choice for the jungler. They could have picked up the Kai'Sa and picked up something that is a bit stronger in the meta. Can clear a bit healthier, clear a bit faster, get that tempo, and be at the plays when they needed to be at. Because I do think I mentioned it during the game that Amumu did seem to be missing from these early plays where I feel like other junglers maybe could make that impactful play. They could be there, but it's just the Amumu wasn't. They didn't have the ability to. So I would want to see what they do going in, how they change their draft to pick up a stronger jungler there, as they do have side selection in this next game.
Yeah, I think maybe a different pick would also work a little bit better with their comp there. They've got some AoE with the Victor, and I guess you could sort of say the Aatrox has some AoE, but really it's not the same as the Amumu on the other side.
No.
And I understand like picking something just to prevent the other team from picking it away here, but I really think that they focused a little bit too much on the other team's draft instead of playing towards what they want to do with their team comp. Now, of course, that's not the only reason they lost. Noir, some very strong performances in both of the solo lanes early on. And then their ADC came alive in that mid game. I mean, the bot lane was whatever, right? It was a pretty boring lane for the most part. I want to say that I think that Noir's jungler made a bit of a mistake. He went for a bot lane play, and what happened was their support ran up to sort of start it off, but they got teleported on, and that turned the tide there. When you've got someone who wants to get out of lane, instead you play towards your winning lane, you get that first tower, and then you can swap the lanes, and that's how you get your weaker lane out of laning phase. But we'll see what changes are made here. We are swinging it right into draft for game 2.
Yeah, so it is Noah on the blue side. They're going to continue batting away this Aurelion. So convinced after that game, last game, it's the strongest on the patch. And Morgana banned away from Team Whale there. I mean, I'm not sure it had the most impact outside of that Black Shield, but
I
maybe.
I think it's primarily for that Black Shield. I think
Mhm.
Team Whale maybe also just trying to get Noir off of that comfort. Maybe take them away from the things that worked for them last game and force them to try something new. So
Yeah.
all three bans were picks that were picked up for them last game. So instead of opting in for really prioritizing that top lane, with the Darius and the Garen bans, obviously that Sonic can carry no matter what he is on. So I think just opted to put the rest of the team on something a little bit less comfortable is the play here for Team Whale. But the first pick coming through here will be the Tristana. It's a meta first pick, as we see this so often in pro play. Very powerful flex pick here for the side of Noir.
Yeah, it was in the mid lane last time. The mid lane of Noir did manage to get a huge lead with Tristana. Not sure if that quite happens again or what is going to happen yet, but Tristana is very solid, has that wave clear, has the ability to get these solo kills early like they did on the Orianna last time. Not quite what we expected here. Ooh, Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath in response, there it is.
That is a very early Cho'Gath pickup. That is a little bit odd coming through for Team Whale, as I'm a little bit curious as to why they're picking up, this very immobile tank early on, but maybe they are cooking something that we are not prepared for.
I think I've seen a few games from that top laner Mentally Broken on this Cho'Gath, but it's not the most conventional first pick, and Nautilus picked up here as well from Team.
Yeah, but that just leaves the Aatrox open, and we can see, it's being hovered from Noir. We know that. We know that Aatrox thrives into these very immobile picks.
Yeah, that's what we were mentioning in the last game. So,
I feel like if you want to pick Cho'Gath you want to blind Cho'Gath this early, you can't have one of the most powerful top leaders of the patch still up. So,
I mean, maybe Cho'Gath can be flexed into the mid lane. I could see it with like somewhat of an Everfrost build, and then to try and nullify this Tristana as much as possible. But I also don't think that'd be the best matchup for him. I mean, you have to have expected this Aatrox. So maybe Mentally Broken is just like Cho'Gath into Aatrox is a matchup I'm comfortable on. I think you can. I really don't know.
That's a very odd, very odd order, I would say, there for Team Whale. But Nazari, that was so successful for, or relatively successful for Team Whale last time, was actually going to be picked up by Noir this time. So double 80 carry, but that is a lot of physical damage going over to a Noir. So I'm expecting, some sort of AP jungler.
AP jump. Yeah, and that's going to be the Milio band away. That's what we expected. And I do really, really like the Samira here.
I like it too.
Maybe it's a bit risky if they can now pick up something like the Lissandre, which the mid lane of Delwar does like, but I actually can't do that because Tristan's picked up. That is my bad. But yeah, just something that can disrupt her. That Samira has a really hard time into. But yeah, I think into the champs that have been shown now, the Tristana of this area, especially with the Northwest pairing, I think Samira is really good. I think she's really well placed in the meta sometimes as well, with her being good into quite a few of the champions that are strong. There's going to be the Victor picked away. They both teams do need AP on some front here, so it will be from that mid lane. They're both probably going to want to pick up some of these strong AP mid laners like they did the last time. Both of them were impactful. Maybe we could see a Neeko. It's not we've not seen it from either of these mid laners yet, but has been impactful in prior weeks of drafts.
Yeah, Neeko still very powerful when utilized correctly. Instead, we are seeing more on the side of Blue Whale, not really taking out heavy AP junglers, taking out that primary engage in the Sejuani and the heavy peel that comes through from the Melio. So taking out some AP picks on the other side is Noir will take out the Victor and the Swain. So interesting to see what they blind. They're opting to go back to the Amumu. So perhaps it was comfort after all for Ystariel. And just maybe.
Yeah, I mean it is. They do have they are setting up a better team fight with this Samira moment going to be
But
picked up.
they're a 1 damage comp right now. Like they have 3 burly
Yeah.
boys beat 3 tanks, but there's 2 ADCs on the other side. They're gonna be able to rip through those tanks so easily. Like
Yeah, they do need to find something to pick up in that mid lane. I'm just looking through some of the mid lane champions. Syndra has been left open. Shyvana, that would definitely be on.
I have been spamming a lot of
yeah.
Shyvana in the jungle.
Yeah.
She is still very, very strong. I actually find her Trinity Force build to be even more effective. It does a mix of both
Yep.
magic and physical damage. Obviously, with how the team layout is here, I'm expecting maybe no our
you'd
jungler
imagine
to.
you'd imagine the AP, but
Yeah, I'm imagining a more AP centric Shyvana here. Still very, very powerful as that
Yep.
Q buff is very impactful. Was also nerfed on this recent patch because
Yep.
you know can't have Shyvana being too strong for some reason.
Yeah, and it's gonna be the Pantheon picked up. Oh my, I don't like that at all. I'm not sure your opinion on it, but it feels like
you get a pick onto Samira. I feel like Team Wales just has no team fight. Like
yeah. I think Noah feel a lot more rounded with their double AD carry. They have a big, strong AP threat. If this Shyvana, which we pray she does go towards this AP build.
if she does go AD, it still does do mixed damage. It does do magic damage, and it still will do physical damage. But yes, you're right.
Yeah, with this double AD carries managing to they'll just shred through these tanks when they get on their the Vor and their LDR spikes later on into the game. And yeah, I think they're just lacking on AP on the side of Team Whale. They're lacking they're lacking a team fight. They're lacking a second damage source. I really think they needed to pick up maybe this something like the Syndra that's open. Of the Taliyah, maybe just anything in this mid lane, which is a strong AP threat. But if
So,
Team Whale
the saving
to
grace,
find an angle,
the saving grace, I think, for Team Whale
Mhm.
is it is so easy for Samir to pop off with this team.
Mm-hmm.
Nautilus CC followed up by Cho'Gath, followed up by Amumu. No one will be able to move. Samir will be able to stack up her passive, get that S rank, and absolutely unload the clips onto the enemy team. So that is definitely possible. But if that doesn't work,
it is possible.
If it doesn't work, that's their whole plan.
I'm not sure how many people in the stream watch the LPL, but if this was OMG playing Team World's comp, I would have 100% confidence they could win. With Abel on that Samira. But I think in this situation, especially because Alistar doesn't have anyone else to go on, Samira is going to have a very, very, very tough time to show up in these team fights, even if they do have that perfect engage. But it's still very possible, right? We saw how there were a few mistakes around these objectives. If Zeri gets caught out and Tristana like falls behind in this lane, obviously Pantheon does have the ability to get this solo kill if he goes towards a more P tier, trying to one-shot this Tristana build. He does have the ability to get a lead. If Tristana falls behind, she can struggle in this later game. And so there's definitely avenues. Samira definitely has a very easy time getting those stacks, getting that ult off. But I think Noah is got a lot more well-rounded comp. It is straying a bit away from what we've seen from them in the past. They really do enjoy this MF Maokai. I think in the last game that is a lot of what they played. Last time we saw them, I think it's maybe all of what they played in all 3 games. But yeah, it's still it's interesting. I think it's a lot more well-rounded. I really enjoy what they put together here. I think Aatrox is going to have the ability to get the lead, which we didn't see the Aatrox do in the last game on the side of Team Whale here. But yeah, as I said, there's always avenue. If Samira gets on these items, she gets going. Even with IE or Duskblade, no matter what build she decides to go, there's always angles. But I would expect Noah to be the team taking this.
I concur. I think especially trying to pick up an immobile tank early on in the draft. Like I don't know why the prioritization was on the Cho'Gath. Like I thought maybe they would cook something a bit spicy. Maybe throw Cho'Gath in the bot lane with the Senna or something like that, because the Senna Cho'Gath is a very, very capable bot lane as well. But no, just opting to put it into that Aatrox just doesn't really make a lot of sense to me.
I mean, they did show that that Aatrox wasn't blindable on the side of Team Whale, right? Noir showed in that first game that we're not gonna let you get away with that picking the Irelia, and there wasn't a lot they could do to stop that from happening. There was a 50 CS lead there, but yeah, I think they really should have done anything different in this top lane. Maybe blinding someone who has a bit of a better time, maybe even somewhat of a range top laner, or just anything that has a better time into Aatrox. But
more
yeah,
mobile, like they did last time, right? So
yeah, it's interesting. I'm not sure there's all too much to talk about. I think laning will not be the most interesting. I think there's definitely opportunities for solo kills here in that mid lane. But apart from that, it's just going to be farming up till these team fights, and I think then Noir can start to take over this game.
I actually think that the bot lane is going to be very, very fight heavy.
It could be, but then
you have
also you sometimes just.
You have two engaged supports, like a Nautilus lands a hook, all of a sudden everyone is like collapsing, TPs coming through. I feel like it could be a very, very volatile bot lane, so I'm expecting both of these junglers, especially the Amumu. Amumu has to play around the Samira. If Samira gets behind, no R. Like I was confusing the names. Team Whale, if Samira gets behind, they just have that is their win con. They need the Samira pop off in these team fights. In order for that to happen, they need to have a successful laning phase. So I'm expecting the Amumu to path down towards the Samira, I'm expecting the Shyvana to also be down there to try and shut down the only win con of Team Whale.
That's the side Dragons are on. That's the side Shyvana wants to be, right? So
exactly. But we will be heading to a quick break here. But please don't go anywhere. We have game 2 between Team Whale and Noir of the quarterfinals of Ryzen Esports. Stick around. Welcome in here, out there, everybody, to Ryzen Esports. We might actually get our level 1 shenanigans that we have been looking for, as we are looking for an invade here, but we are prepared for game 2 between Team Noir and Team Whale. All right, they are opting. Okay, it's 5 stack. We might actually get these level 1 shenanigans. This is going to be huge.
Who comes out here?
All right. Kilmian is the first one to walk up, but they don't know that they are 5 stacked and they split up. This is such a disaster already. Kilmian is going to be the first one to fall. He flashes away. Doesn't fall just yet, but the first blood is picked up by Admiral Levy. Flashes galore. I cannot tell who is flashing and who is dashing, but it is Ystariel. It is a double kill picked up here for Admiral Levy. They're trying to get one back. They will be able to take out Proxy, but that is a level 1 ace for the side of Noir. Oh, that is not good.
Admiral Levy is going to base with 1,000 gold, so he's going to get 2 long swords and a dagger. He's going to be 300 gold away from his Noom over there. Oh no, he's going to pick up the Kershi shot on boots. TP back as well. No one else going to spend their gold. It was Admiral Levy picking up most. Actually, no, Boots going to be picked up on the Alastor there. Yeah, and as you said, that is really, really, really not good for the for the side of Team Wild there.
Yeah, we said in the draft Samira has to get ahead. Being 3 kills down 2 minutes in is not ideal.
No, that doesn't generally help, does it?
Already has a still with that call has now Boots and the Shard already. Has energized attacks on this area. Oh man, no I feel like already this is Noir's game to lose.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with you there. Tristana also has all this pressure in the mid lane because Rams died. Tristana managed to get to the lane earlier. No TP there on Rams, so it's just going to be able to push in these waves, use that advantage that they have gained there. Chauvan is also going to be clearing just a bit quicker. As we said, Amumu is not quite this this meta jungler. He's not got quite the fastest clear speed at the moment. So
and Shyvana clears so fast. You're right. Really so and both these junglers pathing towards top, very not what I was expecting. But we see Amumu. It's
just gonna be a 3 camp here, I think.
Yeah, 3 camp clear, and now he's looking towards that bot lane, trying to influence this in any way. The hook comes through, but lands on a minion, and Proxy now forced to walk away. Ystariel is here, but nothing will come of it. That minion saving the lane, perhaps here for the side of Noir.
Yeah, no flash using level 1 for the Zeri there, so they know that stand. They want to make an impact on this area as fast as possible. This 600 gold bounty over to Samira would be very, very, very good. It's 300 gold, sorry. Over to Samira would be very good. I think Pantheon just got choked out in the mid lane. Tristana is managing to just catch that wave. They're playing very well using the advantage they've gained there, but I'm not sure the lethal tempo is quite what I would have gone for in this lane. You're trying to look for that early pressure. Not sure if you're trying to look to
leaning towards perhaps a different angle, but here we go. Akessa finds a free sad mummy in the jungle, and he will remain sad as he flashes away. Stays with Tark, but here as well. Tark does still have the flash, and he will use it. The sad mummy goes down for the second time. We have a 3k gold lead at 4 minutes into the game.
Yeah, this is just an unfortunate one. It really is. They were looking to utilize the level 1 of their movement, their Pantheon, their
as a jungle main, one rule that you cannot ignore. Will that ignite get Tark perhaps? No, it will not. The Infernal Chains might also be dangerous for Mentally Broken, but he will walk away as well. Meanwhile, down in bot lane, Proxy was trying to get the stun onto Kilmian, but does buffer it with that hook. So a lot of fighting going on opposite ends of the rift, but no kills. But what I was going to say is one of the golden rules of jungling: never ever full clear or clear one side and then gank that same side. It opens you up to so much counterplay, and it is taken advantage of by Akessa. You see that Amumu has 12 CS, only has blue buff. You know his entire top side is still up. That is where he will be going. You have prio with those lanes. You're able to just push in and take the free kill.
Yeah.
Anyone learning jungle, never ever do that. It is so dangerous. It can perhaps net you some advantages, but again, if that gank doesn't work like it did, it now has put Ystariel so far behind.
Ooh, there's a bit of a slight bit of a
He's
mess there
fine.
From Rams. Good buffer there from Tark.
Just walk it off, Tark, and here comes Proxy. The exhaust is down. The spear misses, and it's a solo kill for Proxy in the mid lane. The dragon is picked up as well, already stacking there for Shyvana. 7-1, 4K in the lead at 6 minutes, and a dragon to boot. Oh,
Yeah.
what do you do now if you're the side of Team Whale?
Yeah, I don't know.
You panic. That's what.
you really need to focus on killing this bot lane. Bounties on both of them with that solo kill going to the Alistar, give him just that gold to tick him over to the bounty. If you manage to get both those kills on Samira, there's hope, right? And that's what you need, right? You need hope. You need to use this Pantheon ult to get down into that bot lane. You need to drag your jungler down. Right, we need to go over and over and over until this bot lane dies, until they can get this lead back. Because right now, with the there's an 1,000 gold lead just between the AD carries, right? So they need to do something. They need to stop the bleed. They need to get this Samira onto her items, and
They're down 1K in the bot lane alone. Oh
yeah,
my goodness.
It's
This is.
and-
That's
I mean-
so tough, especially since this isn't even the Samira's fault. Like, just
No,
the
no, it's-
level
no, it's
one
really
went
not.
so poorly, and just
yeah.
oh man.
Yeah, all credit to this Pantheon though, although being O2 is keeping this shove up, it's keeping pressure on Tark as
Oh, and Rams might want some more here. The ult comes through from Tark, but the flash forward, Rams does manage to land the solo kill onto Tark, and will be able to walk away. So the Pantheon at least getting some gold back here for the side of Team Whale, but is it is that going to be salvageable? It is difficult to tell
I mean,
at this point.
the Pantheon is the one you need the pressure on, right? You need this Pantheon to be shoving this Tristana and making sure she can't move hook lands.
The hook lands, proxy
It's
for
6
20.
on, yeah, you like that?
Tanky will just be able to walk away. That is not the target you really want to land your hooks on if you are Kilmian. You want more to really limit this Zeri as much as you can. Shyvana is in the area. Now
You see
that
Pantheon moving down as well, by the way.
oh yeah, both with ults.
Mhm.
This could be a potential fight. We will see how this goes. We also have a Mumu in the area as well. Will show up on the ward here. The hook lands, but here comes Akessa. Will they be able to get a kill off before the Pantheon arrives? Here he comes, uses those Thunder Thighs and lands into the lane. Samira spins to win and takes out the Zeri. That is a huge shutdown. Akessa now down very, very low. The Mumu comes in and it's a shutdown. The Nautilus will go down, but that's 3 for 1. Here we go. No Whales are making the comeback, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean they managed to get the Samira shot, the Zeri shot down onto Samira, which is really, really big. She's gonna back and be able to buy her core fields there, not too far away from her item. Oh no, she's going towards that collector first even.
Yeah,
So,
that being said, Static Shiv is already picked up here for Zeri, so
Static Shiv is picked up. Yeah, I mean,
still
I
has
don't
the item
think-
advantage
I
there in
don't
the
think
bot lane.
you like that. It's too far away from it now with that bounty picked up. But yeah, it was the Nautilus picking up that bounty on the Alistar, which isn't quite what you want there. But no, it's still pretty well played. They noticed that Shyvana wasn't appearing on the map. She could be on a gank timing in the bot lane. And
Oh,
yeah,
here
good
comes
hook on from
Kilmian, the circle back for
Nautilus.
Proxy. Proxy does have ult, Kilmian does not, so they just opt to walk away. Looks like both of these supports have roamed up to try and influence this Herald fight, but bit of an advantage here for the side of Noir, as, like I said, Proxy does have that ultimate, so it looks like Kilmian is just accepting their loss and will make their way back down to the bot lane.
And yeah, there's about a 800 gold lead on this top lane. It's kind of been untouched, but yeah, it's just going 45 CS down. Proxy flash, was that
The
Hex
Hex Flash.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I was questioning it as well, but it was the Hex Flash.
Yeah, the camera just like panned over as the flash
At the
sound
very
went off.
yeah.
I just got a bit confused, but no, it is.
Oh, and Admiral Levy, you are all by yourself. The TP comes in way too late. Kilmian will be able to walk away as well. Sonic the Rock is here. Oh, he's going for it. Kilmian now down very, very low. But the 3 for 1, is that even worth it? He will be able to get the kill back. look at that wave that you're missing in the top lane. I don't think that was worth it for Noir overall.
Yeah, I think Sonic the Rock just felt very pressured to try get something there, just flashing on top of that Nautilus. But it's just gonna be 300 gold picked up. It's gonna be the Duskblade there picked up now with that extra gold in base.
You know,
Yeah,
he
you're
is
saying-
also 50 CS in the lead over his counterpart, so maybe he can afford to lose a wave or two
Yeah,
and
I
not
mean,
really fall behind in this top
He
lane.
can
So
do, but he really wants to be keeping up this pressure, right? You don't want to let this Cho'Gath just get free stats for no reason, right? And he
all right,
did
but
get
here
the
we
gold,
go
but-
around the dragon fight. The Shyvana dashes in. Yssariel pops that ultimate. He will be the first one to go down, but soon followed by the half dragon as well. And now Pantheon will fall in return. So that's 2 for 1 so far. The dragon is still being chunked down, but looks like the TP advantage is being used, and now the hook comes through, and Tark goes down as well. Proxy 420 is also dropping dangerously low. The stun comes through, so we'll save him for now, but You Like That is also pursuing.
Yeah,
Nothing will come of it. Looks like the dragon, the TP advantage used extremely well there for the side of Team Whale, and a stack going over to Cho'Gath as well.
Yeah, this Samira is playing really well. She's doing everything that she needs to mount this comeback, right? And apart from, ooh, is Sonic the Rock okay here?
Ooh, Sonic committed the cardinal sin of greed yet again and will go down. Oh boy, after such a disastrous start, the gold is still about 2K in favor of Noir, but these plays are being made by the side of Team Whale to really start mounting that comeback.
Yeah, and they're doing everything right. They're playing around this Samira. They're getting her advantage back. And what was a 1,000 gold lead is now for the side of Zeri is now actually a 600 gold lead on the side of Samira. She's picked up these kills. She's picked up these plays. She's picked up the bounties. She's on this collector spike now, and with this collector and the level lead, if the Nautilus hook hits, it's generally fatal, right? Swooping up for any vision, they're looking for a little something. Shyvana's just gonna get a lot of gold from all these wards, just chilling around. And it's the Nash's Tooth picked up now. It is this AP.
All right, the flash forward, Kilmian tries to get the pick onto Admiral Levy, but she's able to just dash the wall. And here comes Shyvana. Will they be able to turn this around? Yssariel is here as well. Dashes in onto Proxy 420, pops that ultimate, and will be very, very tanky.
Oh, no.
Proxy 420 will be able to pick up that kill onto his opposing support. And looks like that will be all she wrote for now. Yeah, You Like That is chunked insanely low, is trying to greed for the wave here. But I don't think you can really stay when you're chunked that low, and there's 4 of the enemy here on this side. Rams now trying to get the kill onto Sonic the Rock, and the Ignite will tick, and Sonic goes down. Top Proxy now also trying to look for a bit more on this bot lane, but it looks like it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade at opposite ends of the map.
Yeah, and it's I thought that was going to be a lot worse. I thought Zeri was just about to completely take over, but it is just going to be Kilmian and giving his life to stop the Zeri from advancing further in that fight. But if we could mention, this has been a very good game from Rams here when in their ability to try and mount this comeback, right?
Rams and Yeah You Like That are the carries, and I think they are performing to their absolute fullest right now. Yeah You Like That on the Samira has been instrumental in mounting this comeback. So even if they end up like losing this game, the fact that they didn't just throw in the towel after that level 1 is very, very commendable.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would have just
that would have been a mental boom.
they would have just mental boomed, and it would have been like, yeah, I'm 3 kills down on my laner, and like the minions haven't even crashed yet. So I don't really know what you expect me to do here. But yeah, no, it was really well played. They realized that their champions were still strong, even though there was such like an item lead, right? Ooh,
all
and
right, but here we go.
coming in.
Another fight in the bot lane. Kilmian, the heal does keep him alive for a little bit longer, but not long enough. The ult from Tark also so instrumental, and down goes Yeah You Like That. Rams in trouble as well. Tries to flash forward to turn the fight, but he just flashes into an explosion, and he will die for it. That is 3 kills going over to Noir.
Let me just ask you, why do I say anything good? Because they just always seem to die off.
Let's try the opposite effect, you know, like mentally broken, you're gonna lose this fight. Okay, no, he just opts to walk away. I tried to help you there, mentally broken, but he will just walk away.
Yeah, it just feels like they said we said something good. We said Rams and you like that were playing really well. Both die, of course. Why wouldn't they, right? But yeah, no,
Okay, let's try again. Rams is opting towards this top lane. He does have the ultimate. Rams, I think you're gonna lose this. Like 100. Like how can you possibly win? You're like, no way, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
like
here
Son of
comes the
Baroque just
ultimate.
gonna
Mentally broken does get the silence
Oh,
off,
no, it
and the
misses.
kill does go over to Rams. It works. It works.
Yeah. I think that one might have been a bit of a guarantee, but
Yeah. Okay. As soon as we see Pantheon, you know, leading
yeah.
towards that top lane, like yeah.
But yeah, he's still, although making a few slip ups, still managing to find these angles, getting the kill on Sonic the Rock, and this gold lead it's not feeling too bad anymore, right?
It's
there is
still
still the
about
big item lead, but
it's still about 7K though at this point. So
well, I was talking
There's-
about just between the top laners. Sorry, it's not looking
just between
like
the top laners, yeah.
it's not looking like horrible. But,
all right, Tark now finds himself in a little bit of trouble, but is able to walk away. The dragon is spawning, and the one that cares about the dragons in the Shyvana is not anywhere near really to contest right now. So I'm assuming this dragon to just be going over to the side of Team Whale. Whether they survive the ensuing team fight is yet to be decided. Down to 3K. Maybe they can actually get there in time for the steal. Shyvana dives in, but it is picked up here by Yustariel. The flash forward does get a multi-man stun by the Amumu, but I think they're just too far behind to really survive. Double kill going over, the spin to win. Yeah, you like that. Will try to get the kill back. Will be able to take out the half dragon, but the rest of the squad is here to avenge their fallen comrades. Double kill going into Admiral Levy, making a triple, and that is an ace for Noir.
Yeah, there was a small second there where I thought, yeah, you like that, he's getting his own stacks up, but no, Zeri just came along, pressed our button, blew them all up. Yeah, and I think we do have to commend, after this level 1 being 7,000 gold behind, they're really trying to make an effort in these fights, and they're like really making an impact, right? But it's still just like not appearing to be enough. I think at this point it's going to be very hard for them to come back. Zeri's just running away from Samira now. If they do find that angle, this Samira, it's still on 2 items. She still has the ability to
yeah.
to
like item-wise,
do damage in that fight.
Item-wise, they're still pretty even. I don't know if
Yeah.
Zeri is backed yet. No, it looks like they are now, so likely going to extend that item lead a bit. Yeah, we can see
Yeah,
already
pick up that
picked
bump
up
to
the
them, yeah.
Vampiric Scepters, so... But still, overall, 2 completed items to 2 completed items, so it's not a lost cause, I want to say. I know the gold lead is very big at this stage. Almost 8K at 18 minutes is not where you want to be, but I don't actually think this is lost yet.
No, I don't think it's completely lost. It's just the pieces around these carries are very strong on the side of Noir here, but on the side of Team Whale have been collapsing just a bit with 6 deaths there on the Nautilus and the advantages in the top lane there. The Pantheon still will be able to do a bit of damage in these fights. We'll be able to get on top of somebody, but yeah, I think this Zeri is feeling very safe, especially because she's got cleanse up here, and as long as she doesn't just do something horrendous and get just like hit by a Naut hook, then munched as
no. The blue had to add insult to injury. The smite from Akeso will pick up the blue buff, so no gold even going over to Yustariel. It's just the dragon. Like I said, I really like where Shyvana is right now, even though she is running the AP build. Just, I think.
Yeah. I think
actually finds herself on maybe a bit too greedy here,
yeah,
and that's a big shutdown going over to Samira, and now it's you like that, trying to salvage yet again, but Tark is there. The dragon may have fallen, but the Yordle stands strong and picks up the double kill in return.
Yeah, I mean, with what would you prefer on your team? Big person could
transform
into a dragon or like a
sorry to interrupt you yet again, but we have yet another fight. Rams just dives in and is blown up by the Aatrox. A bit of a oopsie there from Proxy as he's able to push Yustariel to safety, but it is the kill going over to Rams. and Tristan is just able to just wail on this bot side turret. Just
Yeah.
this is tough.
Doing that Tristana thing, she generally just manages to shred through these turrets, right? It's one of the big advantages, especially in pro play. She has the ability to shred through those turrets. It's also why Ziggs is being picked up a lot in the LCS. They generally became quite prevalent at the same time as Mentally Broken. Just looking around, so I'm not sure if much is going to happen. There's going to be TJ.
Okay, yeah, the Baron dance. The Baron dance has begun. One big thing I do want to mention is, if they do try to flip an objective here, there is a bigger smite on the side of Team Whale, as you can combine the smite with the Cho'Gath R to really do a surprise burst onto some of these monsters. But here we go. Looks like they are opting into a fight as the hook lands onto Proxy 420 as Kilmian is now forced to just walk away. Proxy does drop dangerously low, does not have the ult. The knockup is there, and yeah, you like that dashes in. It will take out the Alistar, but at what cost? Actually, no! They actually pick up the Tristana as well, so a bit of a split fight here, and this actually might mean a Baron here. But no, looks like the back is... It looks like they do want to fight this. The health bars are dangerously low. Shyvana! The E comes through, the magic damage, the flame breath cakes out the jungler, and the 3v5 who's counting, and it is another kill lead going over to the side of Noir, and is picked up yet again. Oh, it's just, whenever I get a smidgen of hope for the side of Team Well, it is quickly snuffed out, and it looks like the Baron will be picked up as well.
This is tough to watch, really, isn't it? It feels like, it feels like they're trying their absolute hardest. It's just like, since that level 1, it's just been a snowball effect, which they haven't been able to claw back from. It feels like whenever they reach out for that hold, it's just like they slip and they just can't quite reach. They're not quite tall enough to grab on, and yeah, it's really unfortunate. With how far behind they fell, and that Noir have done a successful job of snowballing this lead, making sure they didn't throw all too much.
No, guys, what are you can't contest this. No, you're down 12k. Just farm, please, just farm. Okay, it looks like they're opted in. Looks like Astario's just gonna walk into the pit, and he is gonna be able to steal the objective at least. I guess it was not there yet. So, okay, just get out, leave. Everyone run. Run for the hills. You cannot fight this. Proxy in. Up goes Kilmian. Will he be able to buffer? He will be able to dredge line himself away. And meanwhile, the flash forward from Admiral Levy as they are just raining bullets onto the Cho'Gath. And Cho'Gath will fall. Will the rest of the team be able to get out? Proxy does push. Yeah, you like that to safety. The Infernal Chains might spell disaster for Yustario, but he will be able to use that flash and make his escape. But with the Baron buff, they are knocking on the base. They were able to pick up the dragon at least and only lose one.
Yeah, they did pick up this dragon. That is another 5% adaptive force, right? And that's always good. It's like nice on anybody really in the game, but I'm not sure if it's going to be too impactful at this point. 15k.
Okay, Proxy just gets absolutely deleted. Did not have the ultimate. So a bit of an oopsie there from the support of Noir, but I do not think that will really deter the onslaught of this team yet.
No, I feel like we saw on-hit Shyvana so much over the past couple of weeks, just in our solo queue games. Like, I forgot what AP Shyvana could do with the lead, right? She does absolutely shred through these health bars. They don't really have the ability to pick up these resistances. It is going to be the Hex Drink picked up. That's going to be the only MR picked up there as a hook.
Alright, looks like they opt to engage. Their team is still very split. Kilmian is the first one to fall. They will be able to get Admiral Levy. That is actually huge for the side of Team Whale, but you have multiple threats on the other side. Rams is kept alive a little bit longer, but who can stop the world ender? That is the ace picked up here for Noir, and they will march into the enemy base and will likely pick up the win in these quarterfinals.
Yeah, that is going to be the 2-0 there. Respawn time was odd enough. Nautilus will just respawn. 2-0 for the side of Noir, and it was well played by them, right? They got their lead on the level 1. They managed to notice that with the champions they have, they're going to want to try look for this Invaders. They're doing a bit of farming there.
All right, we do get a bit of a fight back as Usariel's trying to land onto Tark, but now they just have to hit the Nexus one more time. Sixth place versus second. Who the hell cares?
Yep.
It is Team No R picking up the win and moving on to the semifinals.
Yeah, as I was saying, it was they did well to stack in that bush, right? They did well to notice that with the champions they had, with the Amumu, with the Nautilus, with the Pantheon, they were going to want to try look for an invade. They defended against it, and with the face check, they managed to just get all the damage, burst out that front line early, and with that almost ace being picked up there, all the kills onto the Zeri there, it was very hard to turn that around. And they did try their best. They did put in a good effort. Willie, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I gotta say that invade level 1, I mean, after that, it's all downhill from there. It's really tough to get out of that hole. But I'm gonna. I mean, the invade, it's like, you have the Nautilus Samira, so you think you want to go in, you want to
Yeah.
get that hook on someone. But the thing is, the other team's got 2 marksmen on their team. They're going to be able to pump out damage at level 1. And with the Alistair in front of them to just knock up, like, the Alistair can flash into you while you're invading and get a really nice knock up. And that is
Yeah.
not how you want the invade to start off. So if you're not able to get that Nautilus hook onto one of those main carries and get one of the marksmen out of the way quick, it's just not going to go well. So
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, sorry,
yeah.
go
So
ahead.
I was just gonna say that is what like you look for, right? It is echoed around. They have an Alistar. He's really weak, level 1. We don't need to be scared of him, right? But if you all funnel into the same place, he's gonna get a 5-man knockup, right?
Yeah. And that's
he-
generally the plan with Alistair. You can't really invade with him, but you
Uh,
can do really well if you stack against an invade with him because they have to face check you, and by the time they're close enough to get a ward and it's too late, they're gonna flash in and get a really nice knock up on multiple members of your team.
yeah, and yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, just I mean, after that, just I want to commemorate Team Whale. They didn't give up, and I think that was very, very well played by them.
Yeah.
It was a
But
good fight, yeah.
ultimately, just when you're that far behind, it takes not just one good fight, but it needs a number of good fights to get back into the game. And unfortunately, they just couldn't find the angles on a lot of these fights. As we mentioned, just Samira getting popped in some of these team fights just really made it difficult for the rest of the these beefy boys to really output the damage in order to kill these 80 carries that they were facing. So I did want to send my commemorations to Team Whale on an excellent season. But I'm very looking forward to what No-R is able to accomplish as they move on to the semifinals, as they showed absolute dominance throughout these quarterfinal matchups.
Yeah, reflecting back on that game, yeah, their mid laner with the Pantheon had a lot of really nice ults. They got a lot of good picks in there, so I think without that level 1, they could have had a really good shot at winning this game too. Go ahead, Zydok.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think we are going to get the AD carry in here, Levy,
Yes,
which
sir.
will be exciting. Add more Levy there for the interview. We can ask him a few questions how they thought that game went. So yeah, I think we might be about ready.
Yeah, let's get him in here. There he is.
Hello.
Admiral Levy. Is it Levy or Levi? I want to say it right.
Levi.
Levi. Oh, sorry, Levi.
Well,
sorry.
I mispronounced
Perfectly
it the
fine.
entire time. Well, anyway.
I always ask now because I've heard it both ways. I know people get kind of annoyed when it's said wrong.
You are fine. It's not
Right
something
on.
I'm holding.
Levi, I'm seeing MVPs in the Twitch chat. What do you think about those 2 games? I think you had a really great performance in both games. Really high KDAs, put out a lot of damage in these team fights. How are you feeling after that 2-0 series?
Oh man, I'm feeling great. It's feeling like probably my best games of the season at this point. But I mean, obviously off the back of my team, like
Of course.
enabling me the whole time. But
What a team player.
certainly.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, in that first game we saw you have a good performance on that Misfortune, but then they banned it away, and we saw you pick up the Zeri there. We were slightly surprised that the Kai'Sa wasn't picked up. Do you have any opinions on the champion, especially after all the nerf Static Shivers got?
On Zeri or Kaisa?
On Kaiser. Sorry.
On Kaisa?
About
Let's
I
hear
yeah, she
think
both.
wasn't being picked
Let's
up
hear
in
both the
series.
opinions. Let's hear them both.
both the
Yeah.
opinions.
While you're here.
I can go Zeri for it. Zeri's just one of my favorite champs to play
Fair
point blank
enough.
period.
Yeah.
So we talked about the Kaisa, but I think generally even into like Samira, I like being able to keep a bigger distance. While
Mhm.
with Kaisa, I'm not as great as I'd like to be with
Yep.
sort of maintaining kiting in that sort of sense. But
Yeah.
Zeri, I find it a lot easier.
Comfort over meta, right? It
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really does.
I see what you're saying. That's what I was maybe thinking. It might be just the range thing. Kaisa
Yeah.
is one of the lower range champs. Like isn't she like the same range as Lucian or something? Like super low range.
Well, no, like
Very.
precisely. But yeah.
Yeah. So another question here for you, Levi. So obviously, displaying your team displaying a large dominance in your quarterfinal matchups. How do you transition that momentum into your semifinals and try to keep up that momentum and make sure that it doesn't just fall off and you're able to pick that up and keep having these these top-notch performances in your upcoming matches?
It's a good question. I think one just kind of uh continuing with like a hard focus on team composition. I think it's like humongous, especially in these kind of like 5v5 scenarios and so
Mhm.
kind of just looking at what let us win these games and taking that forward into games pushing forward, ideally helps us go further on in the bracket. As well as just sort of more clear communication. Obviously, morale's up off of
Mhm.
something like that, so we ride that high to next week too. That I think
Makes sense.
always helps. But yeah,
I have something quickly. So you've been on the stream back to back now, and coming into the draft, it looked like that was gonna slightly disadvantage you. They banned away a lot of what you were playing in that first game, say the Seraphine, the Darius there. Did you guys expect them to be seeing the VODs, seeing what you guys were playing, and did you come up with ideas to counteract how they were trying to counteract you, or?
uh, I can say we didn't expect a Seraphine. The Darius,
Mhm.
our top tends to be a priority pick for bans a lot, so it was more or less expected. But
Mhm.
it wasn't something I'd say we were expecting. But I think we were kind of leaning into the mindset of like, okay, we figure out what they play well and try to play around that more so than try and
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
anticipate anything in that sense.
Mhm. Yeah. Mhm.
All right, here's a question to bring you back down to earth a little bit. I did see there were mistakes happening in both the games here. I'm not, not trying to like be rude or insulting or anything,
You're
but I
fine.
did see there were a lot of times where people were getting picked, sort of not realizing that Pantheon was missing on the map
Yeah.
in that second game. A couple of times guys were a little bit slow to rotate to some of these objective fights. I saw one dragon get picked up. When you guys have a Shyvana, that's it's not the best to give the dragons away. But are you guys gonna have any sort of practice in before next week and try and remedy some of that stuff, get it nice and clean while you're going into the quarterfinals?
Hey, maybe, a wise man once said the R and no R stands for practice, and that has been on and off throughout the season,
Mhm.
I think like looking at the mistakes, I think we're definitely pointing them out as they happen in game, and
Mhm.
I mean, and of course wins like these, we can look back and laugh about them more, but like we're definitely like looking back at our mistakes and seeing what happened. Like, for example, that Aatrox TP,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
we had to
remember
talk
that.
about that. But yeah, it's like sort of situations like that where we kind of look more to in the moment to figure out what we need to be doing.
All right.
Yeah. Well,
Did
okay,
you?
I've got a question from the chats to bring you back up to heaven. It says, is
Oh wow.
Levi the best AD carry in Risen? Opinions?
In Risen, I'm not gonna make a statement on
Let's say,
that.
how about in Friday
Um,
Draft League?
How about
in
in Friday Drop Day
Friday
then?
Draft League, I'd wager I'd maybe say I'm willing to say I'm maybe like top four.
Top
There's a
four?
fucking
Hey, you're in
there's some pretty
semifinals,
decent
so I
guys in
think
there.
I think
You're in the
evidence
top
would
four
would
teams.
would would,
I-
uh, would
yeah.
prove you correct.
There you
Certainly.
go. The math
I
adds
think like
up.
MF, like again, like especially with MF, like team play is so important with that kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
So being able to, allow for those huge ults and allow
Uh-huh.
for me to not like insta die is
Mhm.
exceptionally important.
And then I have one last question to bring you back down. Apparently, we're just
Again.
bringing you up and
Man.
down in these questions, but how does it sting getting 2 quadras in the first game and not picking up that
It
penta either
does.
time?
It
Oh,
really
man.
does sting.
I
I'm
gotta
not gonna
tell
lie.
you, it must have
It,
been so annoying seeing that Brom wall every team fight in the league.
that bro, you try to play around it, but at some point you
Yeah.
just gotta bite the bullet.
Mhm.
The bullet
The
time.
Victor did more in that first fight than I wanted him to,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
then
I was like, oh, can he pick up the penta? Oh, no, he
no,
died.
very
But
unlucky. Hey, maybe
hey,
next week.
still
Maybe
an
next
Maybe
week.
next week.
still an incredible performance out of you and
Uh-huh.
your squad. So I think you guys should be proud.
We
And
will
we'll be wrapping up the interview here, but Admiral Levi, any shout outs, any handles, Twitter handle you want to drop in the chat or anything like that
I
before we sign off today?
I do not think I'll be dropping my Twitter. I will say, for this week, the R no R does stand for invades.
In the
Alright.
chat, it
No.
says it stands for Levi Pentakill. So
Oh,
these are
looking
some-
that
forward
too.
to
You
seeing
know
that
what?
next week.
Some interesting phrases. I don't think there's an R in any of these phrases.
I
I
don't.
guess that's why they call it
That's
no
up for
R.
debate.
That's the point. There is no R in it.
Exactly. Okay.
Anyway, thank you, Levi.
No
Thank you,
problem. Hey,
Levi.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you
have
so
a
much
nice
for the
night.
interview. And we'll
No
hope
problem.
to see you again in the semis
Baby.
or in the finals.
Mhm.
And
Top 5.
yep, that'll about do it for us today. I have been your host, Willie, joined by my two casters, Zazakel and Zyduk, and we will see all y'all in the chat again next week, Friday Draft Summer League for the semifinals. It'll be a best of 5, so a bit of a longer stream next week. And we're hoping to see y'all all then. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye, guys.